Here we are at South Shore Road. Surfside Road is just behind me. You can see our new four-way stop back here, which I guess is going pretty well. At least the people on South Shore Road like it. One of the projects on the election ballot is a bike path along South Shore Road. Part of it is going to be funded by private development interests down the road a bit, and the rest of it would be funded by the town. I think we also have some state funding coming forward. So let's go across the street and I'll show you where it's going. It's going to go on this side of the street and it will be the entire length of South Shore Road. A lot of people walk and bike on this road, and as you can see, it's a very, very straight road, so the traffic really cruises up and down here. Despite speed limit signs, you know, people don't always pay attention to that. So it's not entirely safe on this road, and the residents, I think, really are looking forward to getting some improvement on the road for pedestrian and bike safety.
This area, Libby, is going to be one of the more densely populated areas. Is that true?
Yes, good point. There's a big development going on down here, and there's been a lot of development that's happened here over the past few years. So yes, there's going to be a big increase in traffic here, not to mention pedestrian and bike traffic. We're heading down Fairgrounds Road. Our Fairgrounds Road bike path project is pretty well complete. We did get a complaint towards the end of last summer that a certain kind of weed was coming up through the pavement and along the sides of the road. So I think spraying was done for that last fall. It's supposed to be done again this spring, and hopefully that will eradicate. We'll do a couple of more sprayings after that over the next year, and hopefully that will eradicate it. I know it's a weed that nobody wants to have in their yard. So now we're at Fairgrounds Road intersection with Old South Road, and over here is the two Fairgrounds site that the town purchased a couple of years ago. We are in the process of planning a number of things for the site. We've got the existing building here where there's some town departments in there, and those are going to stay there for a little while. We're also in the process of planning a public safety facility which would house police, fire, and sheriff. And we are also in the process of planning a housing development in here, the details of which have yet to be totally ironed out, but we received $75,000 from the Community Preservation Committee at this past town meeting, and we're going to use the money to update a housing needs survey for the community to see what type and density of housing would be desirable here. So we received $75,000 from the Community Preservation Committee at this past town meeting, which we're going to use to update our housing needs survey, a community housing needs survey, which will help us figure out the type of housing we might want to have here, as well as to hire a consultant to help us develop an RFP to develop a housing plan for the site, specifically for the site, and engage somebody to build and manage the site for us. And all of the details of that have yet to be worked out, and there's going to be lots of opportunity for public input on that, but that process is about to start very shortly. This area right here we are looking at for the development of a potential community / cultural / performing arts center. The idea behind it is that this area would be leased out to a private group, and they would develop that portion of the site for that type of activity. There's also some open space that will be on the site, and potentially an additional annex for town offices. There are town offices in here now, as we know, and we may build an annex out here. Again, conceptual only right now, but so that would be another component of the development of this site.
Would the housing only be for town employees? The
housing right now would not only be for town employees. There would be definitely a town employee component, but I think the idea is that it would be community housing, and it would be a mixture of rentals and limited home ownership potential. There might be some condos. We haven't fully developed that plan yet, but we want it to be attractive, functional, useful, and desirable. Okay, we are at the intersection of Macy Lane and Old South Road. We're looking at the completion of the Old South Road bike path behind me here, which is a project that was approved a while ago, and now it is finally in the final stages of being finished. It'll be finished this week. We also have a project that's on the ballot for Novadear Farm Road bike path. That bike path will start at Macy Lane right here and go to the very end, and then it will cut through Hinsdale and some other property down at the end here and connect back over to Nobodere Farm Road. So there will be this bike path kind of loop system here.